Woman, won't you find your voice? Oh, woman, won't you find your soul? Woman, won't you find your voice? Oh, woman, won't you find your soul?
I think I first knew that I was a feminist when I was a young girl, and the older women around me, my aunts, would make statements about women's choices or lack of choices, and they would end their conversations with, "Oh no, she can't do because she doesn't have a choice. She has to put up with that relationship because she doesn't have a choice. Oh, that's what women are supposed to endure." And I would always argue with them and say, "No, women should have choices. Women should not have to put up with nonsense. Women shouldn't have to live in violent relationships." So I think it's that ability to question the givens and challenge the status quo that were my early understandings of being a feminist. What African feminism means to me is a statement about the personhood of African women. It means that African women have a right to live their lives in dignity and with respect. It means living their lives free from fear and discrimination, and a life that enables them fulfill all their dreams and aspirations. It means saying no to violence and oppression, and it means being allowed to make affirming and transformative choices. Feminists have contributed to transforming Africa in so many ways. The history of Africa as a continent, whether it's from our indigenous communities to our pre-colonial states to our colonial and post-colonial states, the era of globalization, we cannot talk of our struggles against oppression in terms of the political and economic issues we've had to grapple with in all our countries. You can't write the history of Africa without talking about the contributions of African women, because they have contributed in all spheres. We fought wars alongside men in the liberation struggles. We have always been the ones who have picked up the pieces in our communities when everything else has fallen apart, as can be witnessed in what women go through or are still going through in countries that are recovering or going through violent conflict. So women, just as men have contributed in so many significant ways to the history and development of the African continent. The way forward I see for African feminists is that we need to continue to enlarge our numbers. We already have a significant number of feminist platforms across the continent. We are not short of women's organizations and women's movements in so many communities across Africa. But what we have been asking for is to have more of a feminist analysis, which will enable us engage with all the patriarchal structures that have kept us where we are for so long. And it is this feminist analysis that can enable us address issues at their root cause, as opposed to always dealing with symptoms. Majority of the women's organizations that have been in existence and that have been funded by the African Women's Development Fund over the years, for example, are dealing with symptoms. What I hope a feminist analysis and the feminist forums can do is to continue to engage with ways in which we can address the roots of these issues, address patriarchal oppression in political context, economic context, social and religious context, and so on. So I think we need to increase more our numbers. We need to do more knowledge management of the things that we know we have done well, the things we've achieved. We've designed curricula, we've written publications, we've taught, we've created a whole body of knowledge and thought around feminist analysis and leadership on the continent. So we need to do more of that. It needs to be more mainstream, and I'd like to see more feminists in leadership, because it is until we can get feminists in leadership and governance that we can see a real change in all these issues we are trying to deal with. I would like to shout out to some of my African feminist ancestors, Fumilayo Ransome Kuti of Nigeria, Gambo Sawaba of Nigeria as well, Efunshetan Anibura, who a lot of people might not have heard of, but she was a very powerful merchant who lived in the 19th century, and history has not been good to her because a man rewrote her history as a play and turned her life upside down. So I give a big shout out to one of the most powerful merchant political leaders of her time and during that period. And a shout out to the other great African feminists across the continent as well.
And oh, woman, find your soul. And don't let them tell you that this isn't yours. 'Cause you are yours, your voice, your power, your soul. Baby, don't let them tell you that this isn't yours. 'Cause you are yours, your voice, your power, your soul. Your voice, your power, your soul, your soul, your voice, your power, your soul. Oh, oh, woman, won't you find your voice? Said woman, won't you find your soul? 'Cause this is yours, oh baby, you are yours. Your voice, your power, your soul. Your voice, your power, your soul.